In a city of trade and traders, a young man named TonMon, who had made a name for himself by selling strange items to wealthy people, had set his sights on retirement. But to retire, he would need to make a big sale, one that would make him wealthy beyond his wildest dreams. One day, while the thoughts of reclining in his old age occupied his mind, he was taking a walk along the main roads that connected his city to many others all around the world. Not looking where he was going, he tripped over a wooden chest that had a strange crest on top. He didn't recognize the crest, and in fact, none of the other traders in the city did either. When he opened the chest, he was surprised to find a ring made of pure gold with a large green emerald embedded on it. It was the most beautiful piece of jewelry he had ever seen. He put the ring up for sale, but weeks passed and he never got an offer that matched his value. In his mind, this was his ticket to retirement, and he wasn't prepared to let go of it for anything less than a fortune. A friend of his, another merchant, suggested that he travel the main roads until he came across the Marble Route. It was a route famous for connecting three of the wealthiest cities in the lands. If TonMon reached any of these cities, he would surely find someone who would offer a great price for his ring. When TonMon heard this, his eyes lit up. A city with the wealthiest people would surely offer the most for his ring, and then he could retire as fast as possible. So the next day, without any preparation, he set out alone and in a haste, following the main road east towards the Marble Route. Unfortunately, as he made his way to his destination, a large group of bandits ambushed him. The bandits tied him up and threw him in the back of his caravan. They traveled for about a day before they threw him off the caravan close to an unknown city, taking his horse, caravan, and everything valuable he had in it. But TonMon was a clever man. He had hidden the most valuable item, the ring, in his robe, just in case. He would miss his horse, but with the money he was about to make after selling the ring, he would be able to buy 10 horses. He slowly untied himself, and then he made his way into the city. Some of the local traders he met with told him that he had made it to the city at the start of the Marble Route. It was a beautiful city with water fountains and tall, colorful trees. TonMon stayed in the city for a while and managed to get offers 10 times of what he had at home, enough to buy him a new horse, caravan, and leave him wealthy enough to retire. But after hearing these offers, TonMon became greedy. He thought to himself, maybe he could get even more money if he managed to make it to the next city that had even wealthier people. So that was what he did. He rode with some traders, traveling the next day, and when he got there, he immediately began looking for buyers for his ring. TonMon was shocked when he received an offer of 1 million gold coins. With that amount, he could buy as many horses, caravans, houses, and anything else he wanted, and become the wealthiest man in his city. But there was one more city he had not been to yet. The city said to have the wealthiest people. The traders he traveled with told him that the next city had a secret trader that would pay a fortune for a ring like his. His name was Ambouki, and he owned a small shop in the lowest part of the city where the two rivers meet. TonMon could not contain his excitement, and so the next day he traveled to the final city. It was the most beautiful place he had ever seen. It was a city built on a hill with castles and buildings like he had never seen before. The city was surrounded by two rivers that met around the base of the hill. When TonMon got to the shop, he found Ambouki, the shop owner, closing up for the day. "Oh, shop owner," he said, "spare me a moment and you will see the wonderful treasure that has come with me." And then he uncovered the ring, a ring of pure gold with a magnificent green emerald embedded on top. As soon as Ambouki saw it, he asked, "Where did you get this ring?" To which TonMon replied that he had found it in a chest on the street in the city that he came from. Ambouki, the shop owner, immediately began to describe the crest and all the little details of the chest that held the ring. TonMon was shocked. The shop owner then said, "This ring you bring was once my own, but after a time the ring was sold to a foreign maiden, not young nor old. For 100 million, Would you sell it back to me, or would you return it to the maiden willingly? He then closed his shop and told TonMon to come back the next day after he had made a decision. TonMon could not sleep that night. He kept thinking about the horses, camels, caravans, and all the riches he would acquire if he sold the ring. But deep down, he knew it wasn't the right thing to do. So he went back to Ambouki the next day and gave him the ring. He asked him to return it to the one who had lost it. The shop owner confessed that it would take a long time to get the ring back to the maiden, but for being sincere, he rewarded TonMon with 10,000 gold coins and a new horse that he could use to get back to his city. So TonMon returned home and continued trading for a few years, until one day, a large convoy of caravans burst into the small city of merchants, looking for none other than TonMon. The maiden, whose ring he had returned, was the daughter of a wealthy king, and when she heard the story of how he returned her ring, she had sent all those caravans filled to the brim with gold coins as a reward for him returning her ring. TonMon, who was now an old man, could finally retire.